So, I've got myself another 60mm film camera. I got it on eBay for £130 and it is the Krasnogorsk 1 camera. And the reason I got this is because I want a camera which has a spinning mirror shutter. And as you can see, there's the mirror inside there. And the reason I wanted that was because the camera that I've got now, a Canon Scoopik, although a very good camera, it has a beam splitter prism for the viewfinder system, so it's like just before the shutter of the camera there's this prism which diverts about a third or a full stop of light to the viewfinder, and you get light wasted, which is a really bad thing if you're trying to do stuff at night. But with this camera, all the light goes to the viewfinder and all the light goes to the film, because when the mirror is facing this way, all the light is currently going to the viewfinder, but when the mirror's spinning and you come to a gap in the mirror, some of the light is actually going to, all the light is actually going to the film. And another advantage is there's just less stuff for the light to have to travel through before it hits the lens, because in this camera you just have the lens, then it goes straight to the film. But in the camera that I've got just now, you have the lens, then a prism, and then the film. So that's something else that the light has to go through. So you'll lose probably a tiny little bit of sharpness and quality that way. Plus, it came with 3 prime lenses. Now, this whole set of prime lenses alone could go from anywhere from £100 to £300 on eBay. So £130 for this whole lot was a great bargain. I also got 2 of these film cartridges. Both of them were full of film. One of them had the film had already actually been shot, so I came to the conclusion it was black and white film because it had no range yet. So I bought D76 developer, and I'm just going to try and develop it. And that's the film cartridges there. So the film that was in them has now been put inside a film can, ready for development. Also, what came with it was just a set of neutral density filters, and adapter rings, so you could fit those filters to all the lenses. And these sort of coloured filters, they're not 85B filters, I'm not sure what they are. They don't have the same colour to them. An 85B filter looks more orange, and these are bright yellow, so as an 85B filter they probably wouldn't work. The lenses were quite dirty inside. Well, some of them still are. I've cleaned up the 12mm one, 12.5mm one. It's got hardly any dust in it now, and this is the one I'll be using mostly. And this one is a 20mm f2, and this is a 50mm f2, so it's a nice selection of lenses. You cannot put 100-foot spools in this camera, you can only use the cartridges. And to load them, it's very fiddly, but it can be done. This is the feed spool, and that's the take-up spool. So to load this, you will go into complete darkness. You will then get your film. You'll cut the end of the film like this, and what you do is you just thread it into the bottom of the supply reel like this. You may actually want to cut it, make this bit actually slightly thinner, because you probably don't want it sticking out the bottom like this. And then basically what you want to do is just start rolling it on, but I'm going to devise some sort of machine where basically I can have a 100-foot spool of film, and I can just hold the spool and then it'll just wind on automatically, so I don't have to handle the film. So once you have your reel of film, you want to keep a good hold of it. place it in the feed side of the cartridge, like this. Then you want to thread it. So just thread it like this. Open up the light trap like that. Then the film goes through like that. Then just bring it back and open up the other light trap. And thread the film through in the same way. This little core is very easy to use. You simply just clip the film into the spring that's on it. It's got a clasp on it, so the film just clips on really easily, and that's it ready. And then once you've done that, all in complete darkness, remember, you won't see a thing. You want to set the footage counter to its fullest extent like this, because you won't be able to get the lid on if you don't do this, and then hold it with your finger, and then put the lid on, let that go, and then put in the screws. And that's it ready. To load the camera, pull some film out of the cartridge, like so. Pull up like this and open these. And then you place the cartridge in the camera. Also remove the pressure plate. It just pulls out. And then you have to try and thread this in like that. Look for the pull down claw and engage it with the perforations on the film like that. And then you have to try and engage this film here with the sprockets on this roller in the middle, so it should be sitting, the top of the film should be sitting flush with that roller, and then just inspect it to make sure that the sprockets are actually going through the perforations in the film. Here is what it should look like. So after you've done that, you just want to close both of these like that, and then just test it for a little second, just to make sure it's working. For this, so make sure your frame rate is just turn it down. If you set the frame rate below 8, the motor won't run at all, it just won't do anything. So this is at slow frame rate now. Yeah, that's what happens if you don't put the pressure plate on, so that's easily fixed. There we go. So that's how you load it. You can see the footage counting there. So I've got a set of plans for this camera, well, my own plans really. I want to have a 400-foot magazine on the top. I can get one of those, the Mitchell style, which looks kind of like the Mickey Mouse ears, 400 feet, and I could somehow make up a mount for it so it's detachable. And I'll also have a crystal sync motor system made up. I could build that myself, just controlled by an Arduino, and then I'll get a perfect stable frame rate. I'll be moving on to the exposure meter soon, but before I do that, I'm going to try and set the camera at 25 frames per second. And to do that, I'm basically going to just look through the camera which is recording this video. I'm going to set this camera as running at 25 frames per second, the one that's making this video. Now when I run this camera at 25, the spinning mirror in there should look totally still because it's matching the frame rate of the camera that's recording. So basically what I'll do is I'll just run this camera and then tweak the frame rate until that mirror looks totally still. So I'll set the shutter speed of the camera that's recording this video reasonably fast, so if I wind this a bit and then run it, I should hopefully see this standing still. Not quite, so just tweak it. But yeah, the idea basically is to get to appear totally still, which is quite challenging. Yeah, that's it, just run it with wind, but that's the idea. That's how I'd manually sort of set the frame rate on this, but once I make a crystal sync system for it, that won't be necessary. So as for the light meter, it takes a mercury cell which isn't made anymore. It's about the width of a AA battery and it's quite tall, but the closest thing in voltage to the old mercury cells which were used for exposure meters in cameras is a fully charged nickel metal hydride battery which has been allowed to sit for a while until its voltage drops down to about 1.3. These usually sit at about 1.3 volts when they're fully charged. So basically the casing of the camera is positive and the contact inside is negative. And when I connect this battery up, I can see the needle inside. But basically what you're looking for when you look through the viewfinder of this camera is when your exposure is correct, that a needle will show and it will be sort of in the middle of the frame. With overexposure, I think either being to the right or the left, but I cannot show you that until I wire everything up. So I'll finish this video up here, and I'll do a few more videos on like maybe cleaning the lenses and disassembling this camera and wiring up this battery for the light meter.